secret.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be doing another episode recap for today's Daysofourlives. So let's get to Fiona and Sarah, right? So Fiona tells Sarah that okay, she's onto her. She already knows that Sarah lied about the whole thing about Brady being the one that run her over, right? So she's like, where you come up with that? So she's like, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I overheard you and Xander talking, and I heard you admit to lying to the police. So of course Sarah's caught off guard, and Sarah's like, I had no choice. I had to do it to save both Brady and Xander, right? So I'm like, how are you gonna save Brady with that? You are potentially taking him away from his children, from his family, like, from his whole livelihood, just because you feel like in your mind Brady needs to pay, even though you don't remember him being behind the wheel. So I don't see the justification, but again, they're gonna put off Sarah as this holier than thou, self-righteous, self-righteous acting citizen of Salem, right? But anyways, Fiona was, feeling guilty again, and she's like, I blame myself, and Sarah's like, why you blame yourself? So Fiona is like, it's all my fault, and I caused this. And she's like, I'm really grateful for you. I love you like a daughter, and I'm grateful to be here. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here to reconcile my son and meet my granddaughter. And Sarah's like, let's just keep this between us. And she's like, yes, this would be our secret. As she started breaking down, I don't know when this is going to be revealed, but hopefully soon. So Eric was actually in the bushes. I don't know how much of that conversation he overheard, but hopefully he had enough earful to tell Brady and get him exonerated, because he doesn't really deserve it. And I'm not a Brady fan, but he doesn't deserve it. So we go to EJ, right? And Kristen comes in and she's furious with EJ for arresting Brady again, on some bogus charges. And he's like, you didn't read the news, didn't you? So she's like, what happened? So he's like, Sarah remembered, and she called bluff on it. And, Kristen is good at, figuring out things and just putting two and two together a lot quicker than some of these other people on the show. And she's like, how does Sarah remember that? Even Marlena tried to get her to remember, and she couldn't remember one thing. You don't think that she's bluffing? And, EJ is like, she's a honest, do-good of Salem, she has a lot going for her, a good doctor, all that. So she's like, oh, please, she lied about the paternity for her children twice, right? So I don't want to hear that. And Brady doesn't deserve this. So he's like, listen, I don't know why you're taking up for Brady, and he doesn't even love you like that, right? You're doing this off a man that don't care for you, that don't care if you fall down the next day. So I don't see it. But anyways, Brady needs to pay for what he did, and he needs to pay dearly for it, and I'm gonna make sure of it. So she made a point about, I know you're trying to stick it to Eric, you don't like Eric, and you just want to make him pay for it, but this is not the way, right? So Xander is at his office, and he sees the headline that, Sarah remembered and Brady's in custody. And of course, he's, excited about this and, justice is served and all of that, right? So anyways, Eric comes in and he's like, oh, really, right? So he's like, what are you doing here? So he's like, I didn't come for absolution of what my brother did, but I just want to ask you one question. Like, what were you doing at my parents' house, right? So he's like, wasn't this established already? I was just coming there to talk to him and all that, and that went down. So it's like, I don't really think that's what happened. I believe that you took something out of Victor's playbook, and you hired a thug to poison Brady, with that ring, because Brady, was scratched with the ring from that guy that he supposedly, met from AA or whatever, and, it poisoned him. That's why he was acting how he was acting. He was not drunk and all that, right? So Xander is like, listen, I don't have time for this. I'm running a, multinational company and all that. And, let me just humor you. Like, if I really did this, like, where is the proof in this, right? So anyways, Eric said that, I will find the truth and I will expose you for what you did to my brother, right? So Tate comes to see his dad after school, just checking in on him. And he's like, Dad, I can't believe we got drunk again. And he's like, no, I swear I was not drunk. I just can't remember all the details. But I'm telling you, I did not drink anything after that whole accident with Sarah. Like, I vowed not to drink again. So he's like, do you believe me? And he's like, yeah, I believe you. I'm in your corner. I'm staying loyal beside you. And he's like, I know that a lot of people going to look at you differently. They look at me differently, but I really don't want them to look at you differently. And just remember that you have the support of your grandparents and everybody's, beside you, right? So he's like, how are things with you and Holly? So he's like, things have been bad, and I caught her, going through your stuff in your room, and we had it out, and I had to, kick her out of the house, right? So he's like, remember that, Holly, is having a hard time. I did hit her aunt, and she has every reason to feel how she's feeling. So he's like, I don't think it's gonna work out because she's not seeing my side, she's not seeing my perspective, which I agree with him on that. She's not really seeing how he how it's affecting him and his father and all of that. So he's like, I don't think it's gonna work out. So Brady's like, give her some time, give her some grace. She's having a hard time. And he's like, that's not only that, I feel like she and EJ are teaming up to bring you down. And I feel like EJ put her up to it to really make sure that she finds evidence against you so that you can go down for this crime. And it's just not sitting right with me. So anyways, Brady said, listen, like, it is what it is. Just, I will see you later and all of that, right? So we'll go to my least favorite character in the soap opera at this moment, Miss Sophia. So Holly is there in the square and she sees Sophia from afar and she just gets up and tries to leave, right? So Sophia track her down and is like, I heard you were playing teen detective. And she's like, what do you mean? So she's like, I heard that you was trying to get evidence on Tate's father and you was trying to work with your ex-stepdaddy and all that to bring him down. Like, I know that you're going through a lot, but like, how low can you get? So she's like, excuse me, it wasn't like that. So she's like, so you didn't go into his room and invade his privacy and all that? So she's like, the door was open. So she's like, oh, so that makes it any better. So anyways, she's saying, Tate, you just Tate doesn't deserve everything that you're putting on him. And she's like, my aunt is crippled, she may not walk and all that. Like, Tate's father need to go down for that. So she's like, but Tate doesn't deserve all the stuff that you're putting towards him, and he needs somebody to confide in, and that somebody is me. And clearly you're not giving it up to him, so I have to do that, right? I have to show him what he's missing out on, and I'm a real one and all of that. So she's just egging it on and behaving in the most desperate witchy way, right? And Holly just had enough of it. So I will show you guys real quick.
To get him into bed and to satisfy him like you refused to. Although, I'm guessing even if you did put out, you wouldn't be able to satisfy him like I can. Like I will.
So Holly gave Sophia the slap that she really well needed and deserved, man. Like, I really, really was rooting for Holly on this because she just talks too much, right? Sophia just gets on my last nerve, and she really deserved that and even more. But anyways, Tate come over there, and without assessing the situation properly, he's like, what did you do, Holly? And they're both like, she started it, and he's like, it don't matter, like, you shouldn't put your hands on her and all of that. And he's like, Sophia, are you okay? And she's like, I was just trying to defend your honor and stand up for you, and she just decided to just slap me. And Holly is like, that is further from the truth. So anyways, Tate is not buying it, and he's like, Holly, you're behaving out of control, and this is it. Like, I was telling my dad, like, maybe EJ's putting you up to this and all that stuff, but maybe it's just you, and I can't do this anymore. So Holly's like, what you can't do anymore, you're breaking up with me. So is either yes or no, just be straightforward. So you know what, let me do it for you. We're done, we're through. You and Sophia can have a good life. So she just walked out, and of course Sophia is like, smiling and just leaning on Tate's shoulder at this point. So at this point, we already know where this is gonna go, but Tate is just a young version of Brady, dumb, simple, and naive, and I really can't stand him right now. And Sophia. So Kristen comes over to visit Brady, and she's like, I'm so sorry about what happened. I could just strangle my brother EJ. And he's like, no, he's doing his job. And she's like, Brady, we have to fight this. Like, it just don't add up, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to, like, get you out. Like, Rachel can't be without her daddy, and furthermore, like, I can't be without you. Like, I still love you. Like, I don't want to see you go down for this. So I'm gonna do what I have to do to get you out. So he's like, Kristen, I don't need this. I just need to I need to just serve my time, So she's like, what is this passive attitude that you're having? So he's like, listen, Rachel got you. She got the grandparents and all of that. She'll be fine. So Kristen is not buying it, and she gets up and says that she's going to handle the situation. So, of course, he doesn't want that, but she already went out the door. So when Kristen left, EJ comes in, and Brady's like, EJ, I really don't want to see you need to, like, leave, right? So he's like, last time I checked, I'm in charge. I tell you what to do, not the other way around. So anyways, I can see that from the visitors log, Kristen just came over, but no matter what antics she's up to, whatever she's trying to do to set you free, it's not gonna happen because I have you dead to rights. So anyways, Kristen goes home, and she's emotional, and she's trying to figure out how she's going to help Brady, talking to her, the portrait of her father. And she's like, I know that you've always had some feelings towards Brady, and I know EJ does not care. He just wants to see Brady rot in prison. But, Father, I love him, and he's the father of my child. And I just, I'm just thinking of a way how I can help him. I know if you were here, you would try to do it just because you love me. And I'm like, really? Last time I checked, Stefano does not care for Brady at all, and she mentioned the whole thing with John, rest his soul, that Stefano had just a disdain for John and everything. So even his son, I would expect that he would have hatred towards. But anyways, she's there thinking of how to help Brady, and then a familiar face comes from the tunnel. So I'll leave you guys with this clip. I will see you guys for tomorrow's recap. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.